Never Let Me Go is based on a novel, and The Social Network is a dramatization of real-life events. Despite these solid foundations, do you ever find yourselves building traits and experiences for your characters beyond what is scripted? And do you like to imagine little mundane details of their experience, add physical quirks, or come up with missing scenes taking place before, during, or after the film's events?
Well, with Never Let Me Go, I mean, we had such a brilliant book, and my character narrated the whole thing, so everything that I had to do I could take from what was written. And so, I mean, we imagined, you know, scenes that were in the book that, you know, and you can build you always build a whole world around what you're doing, and you try to. And there were details that I missed that we couldn't have put in the film that I would have loved to have done that would stay in my mind, and lines that I loved and that moved me, that stayed with me. But, I mean, outside of that, everything in the book is so perfect, and the script was such a perfect adaptation, and everything in the book, there was such a depth for me. There was like a well of things that I could draw from, and so I just carried the book around with me, and every scene I sort of referenced, you know, things before and after and surrounding it. And I mean, I couldn't have had you know, she's an unreliable narrator. She never says what she means, and she spends the whole book trying to sort of keep calm and carry on attitude. And that was sort of the most interesting thing, was trying to sort of figure out where the cracks were in her kind of solid nature.
Well, I heard that you, so in the movie you have a younger actress playing you, and that you actually went to set on the day she was filming a scene and were pretty moved by it. So tell me why you did that. I mean, was it important to get
well, me and is this on? It is. Me and Andrew went in most days that the kids were filming, and we rehearsed with the kids at the beginning. Young actors. We rehearsed with the young actors at the beginning, and it was great because I would do a scene with young Andrew, and he would do a scene with young me, and we sort of played the scenes out for each other. And I suppose when we finished our stuff, because they shot all of our stuff first, we just didn't want to really let it go. And so we were not working and were readily available to just hang out. And so we did. We just went in and watched. And we watched Sally Hawkins' stuff, and we watched Charlotte Rampling. We watched all of them doing everything. And they were so instinctive and so brilliant, and had, you know, really, like, they'd read the book and they were making up their own characters. But I think the rehearsal that we had where we did switch it around a bit it kind of melded us together a little bit.
So, I mean, I take it you get pretty immersed in your characters. I mean, you guys are arguing over the viewpoints, you're crying in some of the scenes. Is it important to you to feel that connection with the character you're playing, or do you often get that involved with them?
Yeah, that's my favorite thing to do, is like improvising character as rehearsal. Andrew and I, remember we did that fun thing, and we remember that? Do you remember?
Oh yeah, that thing.
Yeah, Andrew remembers this time that we had a very long conversation, you remember, and it was like and it was so much fun to do. Remember in the room at the table?
Oh yeah, yeah, the table room.
Yeah, you were sitting. Yeah, you were sitting. And so yeah, I love to do that, because I thought it was so much fun, and for like this kind of character is like kind of, you know, occasionally like odd. It was like, it made me laugh, I guess, too. Yeah, I guess that's why, because it was like kind of funny for me to do it, and then I also able to like interact with Andrew, and you know, and so yeah, I like to do that sometimes, especially if the character is like a little, you know, unique. You know, it can get you into it so that it feels like a natural thing, and you're not just like a series of, you know, odd behavior mannerisms or tics or something.
Mm-hmm. Did you guys anticipate that there was going to be such audience debate over whose side of the story was right with Facebook, and that it was kind of going to be such a pop culture touchstone this fall?
I was confused that there wasn't just one viewpoint that people had. You know, Eduardo is right. Eduardo, like, it's simple, you know.
Do you really feel that way though?
No, of course not. No, it's what's wonderful about the script. That's what's wonderful about the story, and that's what's wonderful about human experience. We're all living our own subjective realities, and if there was one viewpoint that was right, there'd be no argument. Everyone's right, and that's what's wonderful. Like, there is a great many truths. People, like, each person has their own personal truth about one situation, and I think to dramatize that is admirable, and somehow, you know, Aaron Sorkin, you know, did that. And you know, I'm not surprised by it at all. I think it's fantastic, and I think it's rare, and I think it should be cherished. Actually, that we have someone like Aaron Sorkin writing for the screen.